Doesn't make sense. Where's my music? Where is my music? Where is my music? Here it is. There we go. Thought you were going to get away from music, didn't you? Nope. Not today. What's up? I'm definitely on my phone. Was going to go outside and sit, but too many bugs out there. All right, enough of that shit. Okay. So, I was looking through some of my history, which you probably don't want to see. And I noticed that the Shani's Petty B I'm So Pretty video has over 2,000 views. Not really sure why, but I have a feeling why. When her videos typically don't get over like 200, why all of a sudden that she has 2,000. But there we go. I keep forgetting to do that. So I think someone got a hold of one of her videos, and so she may be lampooned somewhere on the interwebs that we don't know about. So, more on that later. Anyway, just talking to Doc Savage about CAR T cell therapy and some other stuff, and chatting with the wife about the stuff that happened last night. And I was reminded that I did say that I was going to make a video on humanism, because our favorite person in the whole wide world, who I'm definitely gay for, because I said it twice, that means I'm serious now, has a bit of an issue with me laughing at him while he was cold. And my response was my failed attempt to speak German, Schadenfreude. So let me actually see if I can. Schaden. I had it right. It was Schadenfreude. Shit. I had it right.
Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude. Okay. I forgot the da at the end of it. Whatever. I don't speak Nazi. Anyway. No, actually, I do need to find that pic of where I squeezed the shit out of G-Man's hand, because people are requesting that, so I need to find that. But anyway, so he was upset that I laughed at him, hysterically, in fact, because I guess he was disappointed that as a self-professed humanist, I laughed at another human's pain, because humanists don't do that. We definitely don't rejoice when other people are in pain, because that would just contradict all of the tenets of human. Oh wait, no, it doesn't. So roughly speaking, humanism is the emphasis on human beings, a population of people, society, and not supernatural beings. And let me place an even bigger emphasis on that. Human beings, not supernatural beings. Okay? Human beings, supernatural beings. Human beings, supernatural beings. I can't be any more explicit than that. Any more explicit. Like there's a separation there. We're on this side with the human beings. All right. So, of course, his question. Well, Dragnet, if you are for human beings, how can you laugh at another human being's pain? Easily. I don't like all y'all motherfuckers at all. Me saying that we need to focus on human issues is also not the same thing as me saying that I have to like every last one of you, because that's ridiculous. Absolutely. There are Christians out there who other Christians don't like, but they're called to, be a church together. There's a certain set of rules you're supposed to follow for members of your group, especially as Christians. That doesn't mean that you have to like all of them. Similarly, humanism is just the same in that aspect, that you don't have to like every human being. That in no way, shape, or form dictates that you have to like every single human being. So that is a presumption that somebody made for whatever reason. But I want to disabuse them of that. Absolutely, I found that shit fucking hilarious. And I'll explain why. You can be a humanist, but not really like other people. For example, you want the human race to thrive, but just not a certain individual. Sure, that works. Overall, you want people to continue and to, I don't know, maybe make the world a better place so that other folks who come after you, your progeny and other people's progeny, will go on to have very successful lives. That's fine. But there are some of those folks you're just not going to get along with. That's inevitable. Inevitable. So again, you can want progress for a group, but that does not mean that you have to like every last one of them. Very, very important. Very important. So now, why I found the what he's specifically talking about, and let me see if I get the title right, because I make titles of videos and then I forget what the titles are. It should be a video on my channel called Sub-Zero Wins. And let me make sure before I tell you all to go find it. Yes, it's the video called Sub-Zero Wins. As a matter of fact, you can see it here. You type in Sub-Zero Wins, and then you look at the screenshot there. Now you can see why he's upset. It was like 30 degrees over in Scranton, and he was quite cold. And I found that shit hilarious because it was fucking funny. Absolutely. I've been cold before like that. I've lived up there. It's fucking chilly. You will freeze. I've been in the desert. I've shit in the desert. That shit's not cool. But you know what? Now you understand what it's like to suffer a little bit. It makes a man out of you. Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you don't dress for the occasion, hard for me to feel sorry for you. You know what temperature it is outside. You're outside walking out there. You could take your Uber or something. There's lots of possibilities. But if you're not paying attention, you're not dressing for the occasion, you're doing all types of stuff to not allow yourself to be properly taken care of, then whose fault is that? I'm going to laugh at stupidity. I laugh at my own stupidity and everyone else's. I laugh at my mother's stupidity. Why do you think that you're somehow immune to that? And of course, let's get to the racial aspect of this. Shani did not make you go out in the cold like that at no point in time. Did she say some very questionable things? Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I listened to Black Hebrew Israelites mention the very questionable things that she was saying. We won't go into that. But That's not my fucking problem at all, whatsoever. You had no issue with her saying things like this in the past because this isn't the first time that she's done and said stuff like that. This isn't the first time she flipped on people. This is the first time she's done any of this stuff. You knew exactly who you were dealing with. Exactly. Exactly. But you chose to ignore that. As a humanist, I grant you the autonomy to do stupid things. I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to say, you know what, you need to be a ward of the state because you are incompetent. No. In this case, you go and you deal with that person that you know has certain issues, certain proclivities, and you reap the reward. And guess what? A part of that reward was you go out in the 30-degree weather, no hat, no scarf, no gloves, whatever. Actually, I think you might have had gloves on that one, but just none of this up here. None of this up here was protected. Your whole face hole, your whole face area here, nothing. And I'm just like that. That's what I was laughing at, because it's like you're complaining about it's cold, but you're not putting yourself in a situation to stop being cold. I don't know what exactly. What that's hilarious to me. I can't tell you how many times my mother wrapped me up like a goddamn snowman and or like one of those mannequins at Sears before I went outside. Like, I know better now. So that's more so what I wasn't laughing necessarily at the her calling you a bum ass nigga. Well, I did actually laugh at that because it was funny. It was not the hard ER. It was actually pretty funny. But yes, absolutely, there was some weird racial component that's tied into her Trumperism stuff that definitely came out. That, of course, Sam the scientist sent to me and was like, bruh, what is this? And I was like, I don't know. This is too much AIDS for me. That's their thing. So that's fine. If you want me to verbalize my disdain for that, here it is. That's just not cool. Absolutely. I hope she gets diabetes for it. But it is what it is. You deal with people like that, then that's what you fucking get. I don't know what you want from me. You want me to go out? How about this? If you want a better reaction out of me, I want you to get Veckel to acknowledge that Trump has done racist shit. Because I went on Facebook and embarrassed his ass months ago. I mean, months ago, where this motherfucker literally changed the definition of racism. And literally changed the definition. Because according to Veckel, if y'all didn't know this, in order to be a racist, you have to commit a racist act multiple times. So you're not a rapist unless you rape at least 2 people. You're not a murderer unless you murder at least 2 people. You're not a pedophile until you touch at least 2 kids. That's Veckel logic for you. I'm not kidding. I can't make this shit up. That's literally what this motherfucker told me. And I was just like, you are too fucking dumb. Absolutely fucking dumb. Absolutely, abjectly fucking stupid. Thank you, Veckel, for proving how fucking stupid you are. So when you jump on him for what I see as an egregious racial faux pas, whatever, I don't want to hear that shit at all, at any point in time. When fucking Tommy Hall was saying that all Wolf King does is sit at home and collect food stamps, I'm like, really? Really? What? This conversation had nothing to do with anything socioeconomic at all. We were talking about morality, and then Tommy just throws that in there. Look, we all know what type of person Tommy is, okay? It is what it is. But when people tagged you and Veckel and others, I don't see anything wrong with that. He's a brother in Christ. I don't want to hear that shit. When you sit here and defend slavery, and yes, there's nothing wrong with it in and of itself, that's you defending it, by the way. I don't want to hear that. Don't ever come at me like that. As a black man, I'm appalled by half the shit that you say. But then you sit there and all this other stupid shit to come out your fucking mouth, man. So no, until you start acting like a black man, I'm not going to treat you like, oh, that's my brother, Wakanda forever. No, you don't get that from me at any point in time until you show to me and prove to me and literally every other motherfucker on the internet that has this particular skin affliction that you actually identify with the cause. You over here wearing fucking Rev's Trump shirt in a fucking video. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Really, motherfucker? Really? But now that you're not cool with him, now that you now you got two seeing eyes, now it's a problem. You were wearing his clothes, but now when they toss you aside, now he's racist. Really? 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 Okay, G-Man. But this is what I love about G-Man. This is what I love. I love the standards, and I've spoken about this before. I love the standards that G-Man like wants to place upon other people that he won't himself stand by. At no point in time is he obliged to stand by any standard whatsoever. But he wants to hold you to one. I'm just, you want people to be serious with you. Okay, well, all right, be serious with me. I am serious. Okay, when you start telling me what my sexual preference is, I can't take you seriously. You see where my dick been? No, not at all. So it's little things. It's the little things in life, the very, very little things that I find hilarious about that. And then he's upset and confused when people, oh, what recently? Oh God, the thing with Doc Savage. Well, we're going to ignore all the shit that the G-Man has actually said about Doc Savage, that including that Doc Savage is a part of some like nefarious organization. I'm paraphrasing, by the way, that him being a creator of vaccines has somehow make him complicit in people dying. As a part of G-Man's narrative that has that like really like that was actually said at one point, that Doc Savage is complicit in something like that. So it's weird that people are supposed to accept what are obviously blatant lies that G-Man comes up with, but then not say anything about it. You're not supposed to call him a liar. You're not supposed to point out inconsistencies. You're not supposed to point to when he just literally fabricates, not just like tiny things like, oh, you're stupid. No, like me beating my wife and her cheating on me, which he did address last night when my wife brought it up. He kind of act crazy, like he didn't remember saying that. But as somebody who just kind of lies compulsively, it's not surprising that he would forget little lies like that. I call them the G-Man reflexive lies. He just kind of throws them out there when he's upset. But then people aren't supposed to say anything about that. You're not supposed to acknowledge that. You're not supposed to point out every time G-Man lies. But everyone else is just the big old meanie heads. Everyone else treats him differently. So and that's kind of one of the weird response. Like that's the one things that I kind of struggle with. You say heinous shit about people, but then when people respond and write you off, then you're upset. What? I don't like. I just I really have a hard time understanding what that standard is, or how, because again, this plays into humanism, because I'm supposed to be empathetic to the human plight. Of course, cool. But if someone is acting against the progression of humanity, then why am I supposed to suffer you? Especially more than other folks. I'm just saying, like, because if it comes down to, well, you know what? There are worse people. Of course, there are worse people, but we're dealing with this here and now. My 8-year-old can go, well, what about those other people? Well, adults, people who are grown, people who got a window, what they got a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of. Know that you take responsibility for your actions. So at what point do you just go, all right, dude, just really, you should be able to do and say anything that you want to, but because there might be somebody worse out there in the aether or something, that people are supposed to ignore what goes on. Well, as a humanist, I'm going to deal with what's right here in front of me. I'm going to deal with this right here, and then I'll move out there. Because if you are responsible for you, and she is responsible for her, and he is responsible for him, so on and so forth, then deferring to other people when you get called out on something, that's not very manly of you. That's not very adult of you. I'm just saying. So bottom line is, because I'm going to tie this back into humanism, being a humanist does not make me obligated to like every single human being, because some of them aren't in line with the goal of humanism. Obviously, if you are more interested in fairies and leprechauns and gnomes and deities and demigods and all this kind of stuff, then why should I be concerned with you? You and I we're not aligned on that. If you want to go off and piss in the woods to appease the fairy gods, why should I give a shit what you think in that case? So I watched the video 8 years ago. Your video 8 years ago, same thing being said. You used to get upset, and now it's fun. Yeah, I did. Was I really upset? I might have been, like 8 years ago. Yeah, there's actually, yeah, that was. I think that's when I was just really getting started. Kind of I was one of the neo atheists. So kind of, I don't know. But when it comes down to it, it's funny because here we go again with these standards that aren't being, let's say, understood. And when these standards aren't being understood, that's when there's a lot of crosstalk. Right now, have you turned off ratings after this show because you're, you have to turn off views and ratings after the show because you yearn for views and approval. Yeah, that. Are people doing that now? Is that what's cool in the streets? Is that what's hot? Is the people turn off ratings? I get, well, that tells you, like, if you turn off ratings, you definitely want to hear from people. You definitely want to hear from folks. You know, that is what it is. So, I definitely expect a response. I don't respect anything that I said to really be addressed. I expect stuff to be glossed over. I expect alternative definitions than the ones that I've outlined a few times to be brought up. I expect, no notes to be taken at any point in time, no clarifying question to be answered or asked, I should say, and just absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Abject stupidity. But it is what it is. It's what it is. So anyway, folks, I figured I'd make this, video because I said I'd make it, and I'd address a few things. I think there was something else I wanted to address, but nonsense. It's not nonsense, it's nonsense. You have to, it's more prestigious if you say it that way. Nonsense. It's nonsense and asinine. It's drink of water. Water. WORTER. Water. You have to say it in New Jersey like water.
Just find him out far from.
Uh-oh. Someone sent me a new trailer. So on that note, folks, y'all have a good day. I gotta go do stuff or something, I guess. So am I subwaying into so I forgot about that one. I forgot about that. Not Segway, Subway. I got a Subway. Thank you for reminding me about that one. Yeah, well, yeah. I was stealing views, so I turned off the sound, and so people could go and listen to him talk. I think PG called in, and then he called it quits. So no, not PG called in. I think Soft Spoken Satan called in, who he thought was somebody else. So that's yeah. So he wants his views. He can have them. I grant you views back, but that's weird. That's weird. You have to think about something. Think about this for a second. If he knows that I can go live and then just share part of what he's doing and get more views, what does that say about his pull? Think about that for a second, because he's tacitly admitting that I have the ability to take viewers away from him. Like, that was a tacit admission. I don't even think he recognized that. That's very interesting. That is very interesting. So anyway,